All right, so in 2005, Wu-Tang Meets the Indie Culture, right, comes out.
Yeah.
And you produced 9 songs and rapped on one of them too. How did the idea to mash, Wu-Tang with independent underground hip hop like come about?
Oh, that credit goes to Dreddy Kruger. Yeah,
Mm.
Dreddy Kruger, from Royal Fam, always been connected with the clan or whatever, certain cats. So yeah, that was Dreddy Kruger. He had inked the deal with Babygrande for his label Think Differently Music. So that's where he had all those connects, and he pulled me in as the main producer. So that really was his Dreddy Kruger's baby right there. So, but it was a great idea. It definitely album did really well, and I kind of credit that album for kind of I had the Wu following, but that album kind of pushed me into the Wu following plus a lot of the indie hip hop heads. So it kind of pushed me into just from the Wu-Tang shadow into the indie hip hop circle a little more. So yeah, that was dope for me.
Right. And on the project, you guys had like Cannibal Ox, like,
Yeah.
Tragedy Gaddafi,
Yeah,
Rock Marciano, Raz
yeah.
Kaz, members of the Hieroglyphics, Planet Asia.
Yeah.
Like, how did you guys decide who you guys wanted on that project?
But that was a lot of that shit was Dreddy's call. So Dreddy would, figure it out. We'd brainstorm a little bit who sound good on this, that, and the other. And then Dreddy made the call. I think he got the budget from Babygrande for who we needed. And then, Dreddy, the people here he knew, he connected. And yeah, man, it was just, brainstorming in the studio. You hear a beat, you be like, dog, what sound nice on this? Such and such. And I know his manager, such and such. So I put a call in. So but yeah, but most of that was Dreddy and shit, man. Yeah.
When you guys were working on it, did you guys know it was going to be as revered as it became? Because the Source magazine called it the best independent album of 2005, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. We definitely thought we had something crazy. I don't know whether that's just vainness because it's your product. But yeah, we felt like we had a fucking heat rock, man. We felt like every song, there was no skips. So we didn't see why, saying you couldn't call it the best shit. You know what I mean?
There was a cease and desist, right? For the album cover because of Apple.
Yeah. 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 They made us change the cover. Yep. Yep.
So what happened
Yeah.
exactly? Like, what was your reaction when that happened?
I hated the new cover, man. The new cover was trash to me, but I think I kind of think Babygrande had put that together. So, yeah, I thought, man, y'all could have did something else, man. It didn't have to be the Apple logo, but you could have kept the W shape or did something else with it. Yeah,
Right.
I thought that was trash, man. But they own that shit, man. What can you say?
So what year is it that you meet M80? Because he was the A&R for this album, right?
He was kind of the A&R in the shadows. I didn't really meet him. Um, and then I remember he was listed as the A&R on the Great Migration album as well. So I figured he helped Dreddy pull some of the guests together. And then one day after the album came out and the response it got, I think I got an email from M80 telling me the album was incredible and he was A&R, happy to meet me, and we should get together at some point and work on some more stuff. So that was kind of the beginning right there. I hit him back and shit. I remember that was the first instance, I believe. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you had never even met him at that point.
Nah, he was just working with Dreddy hand in hand. Yeah, I hadn't met him yet. Yep.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
So you got any good stories from that album though? Wu-Tang Meets the Indie Culture?
Ah, man. Woo. Yeah, man. I definitely do, man. Ooh, okay. One night, uh, we had a block of time, and man, I'm not gonna say their name. Shout out to these people, but they're probably gonna know what I'm talking about. But I ain't gonna blast them out of there. But it was a group. I'm gonna say it was a group from the South, uh, Memphis, that was in town, wanted to record. and we had a
3-6
block of,
Mafia.
we had a, nah, no, wrong group. But we had a block of time, and they was in there with their manager, and we had our time already. We was in 36 chambers, and Dreddy and the guy started arguing about the time. And so at this point, we also had 5 or 6 journalists in the room listening to the album. So in the middle of that shit, Dreddy started arguing with the brother, with the manager. Now the manager is like, brother was like 6'4", probably like 280. And so they arguing back and forth. Then all of a sudden, dog, whack, whack. He hit Dreddy, and then Dreddy starts swinging back. These two brothers, they fighting in the studio, they tussling. Man, I look, I done seen 100 fights in the studio, so I didn't even jump up, bro. So I look over, man, all the journalists is in that bitch shook, like, oh shit, they grabbing their pads and shit, getting ready to go. I'm like, yo, this is crazy, dog. So they fighting this shit. I don't really know who won, I ain't gonna say, but the brother in the group, they left. But as they was leaving, they was like, yeah, we going to get some shit. We'll be back. And so they, they shoot out of there. Dreddy straightening up and all that. Bro, the journalist was like, okay, see you guys later out. Man, they took the fuck off upon that bitch. Session was over. And then, yeah, but me and Dreddy, we kept recording. We finished that shit, man, and they never came back, man. So, yeah, that was a live one, bro. Live in the studio, man. Yeah.
Wait, so you're saying that early on in your career, you had already seen 100 fights in the studio already?
Man, I ain't gonna say 100. I was just being exaggerating, but plenty, man. Been in a few. We had a studio in Grand Rapids. Me and Kev and Apollo Brown and my homie A1 got into a big brawl in. So I don't know, man. That shit just be happening, man. People come in that bitch drunk, trying to be bossy and shit like that, You can't just talk to us anyway. So yeah, man. So it was just another instance. So I literally was in that bitch like, damn, it's crazy. Oh shit. Oh, like I'm watching boxing. Like, damn. Yeah. So the journalist.
But Dreddy did his thing though. He held his own.
Yeah, Dreddy got busy, held his own. Hell yeah, absolutely, man.
So wait, how tall is Dreddy compared to this guy?
I mean, maybe 5'11", 6 feet, maybe.
Okay, so he got like at least like 5 inches on him.
Yeah, he was. Dreddy ain't a small guy, but he ain't NBA. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, Dreddy held his own, man. I give it to him.
Wow. All right, so because of the success of Wu-Tang meets the indie culture, you released Thought for Food, right, in 2005?
Yeah.
All right, can you talk about the mixtape Thought for Food and why Thought for Food instead of Food for Thought?
Because my whole shit with that was, first of all, I knew people would ask this very question, but it's because, man, I'm giving you my thoughts and I want you to feed me. I want to make money off my shit. I want to eat off this shit. So that's what I'm giving you. I'm giving you my thoughts so you can help me get my food. You know what I mean? Thoughts for food. So that was the basis behind that shit right there. Absolutely. And the first one was just, you know how you do in the mixtape era, you rhyme over everybody beats. So that's really what the first one was. Then they started doing lawsuits and shit like that. I did the second one kind of the same, but on the second one, I branched out to just having different producers and working with different people. So, it went like that.
Right. How do you feel the reaction was when you put that out, though? Like, how was the streets buzzing?
Oh, they was fucking with it, man. They was fucking with Thought for Food, part 2 especially. It came and they was waiting for something after Great Migration. So yeah, man, they was fucking with it, man. More of the same. I introduced like some of the wise men on there. And then I had shit like the RZA Day to God snippet on there. So, people was getting a good punch of the shit I was doing as a whole. Yeah.